Now, if you go back in my videos far enough, you'll see where I had hundreds of pears lying on the ground because I was not prepared to take advantage of them. I mean, you can only eat so many pears. So this year, I am going to make pear juice out of them. And the process for making a pear juice is the same as apple juice. You crush them, or actually you can slice them. Pears are so much softer. But you crush them basically, and then you press them. So right now, I've got a whole bunch of juice that's just dripping down into there, and I haven't even started to press it. Alright, I'm just about to press these pears. The question is, how full is that bucket going to be? It's a, am I going to get 1 gallon, 2 gallons, a half a gallon? Let's see. So based on other videos that I've seen, you just sort of fold this net over, this mesh, and like that. And now I slide it under the press. I've already got a lot of juice in there just from the pears sitting there. You can see every time I give it a little squeeze. Alright, well, I forgot to take a shot of it, but the pear, out of the one pressing, remember this thing was just about full. It came up to about, maybe 3 inches from the top, full of the crushed pear. And this bucket was full all the way up to about the 2-gallon mark, or the 8-liter mark, which is right about there. And I didn't even get everything out of it, so I put the pear pulp. That's it right there. And it is still pretty moist. There's a lot more juice that can come out of there. The problem was the pears are so smushy that it was just the pulp was pushing through the bag and going down into the juice. So what I'm going to do is I've got a whole bunch of apple that's ready to go here, and about a quarter at the bottom is pear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in some of that stuff with this apple and press it all together. So I'm going to have a combination of pear and apple juice, and I'm going to call it apple pear, or per apple, who knows. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to get started on that. Well, I'm done for the day. Probably spend a good 3 hours, 4 hours playing around with the apples and the pears. Just looking at the strawberries, looks like we've got these are the kind of strawberries that ripen all year long. They're always really good. See, they're still blooming. They just stop blooming when the winter comes. still have, I haven't really even touched the pear tree. Picked some stuff that fell on the ground is all. But this pear tree still has a lot of fruit to go. I think I'm going to have to, and this apple tree, hardly even touched it. And this apple tree, literally, I've not picked an apple on it. And it is full of apples. Just everywhere you look, basically there are apples. So, anyway, right now, I've got this compost. You know, and I've been picking apples from here, and look at this. Hardly even scratched the surface, so I think I made 10 gallons today, would be my guess. I filled one of these buckets here up probably 4 times. Pretty close to full. And this is a 5-gallon or a 5-quart bucket, I think. Here's all the compost that I've been dumping out. One more little bucket to go on it. So, pardon the camera movement while I do this. I've got some volunteer potatoes here. Right there. And right there. I think they're ready to dig, personally. Yeah, I think I'll probably need my backhoe for that. Well, the last thing I'm going to do today, which nobody wants to see me do, is I'm going to get some Roundup on a tree that I cut down earlier this year in the front yard. It's one of those trees that even when you cut it down, it still wants to grow when all these branches grow up right around the trunk of it. It is a box elder tree. It is literally the bane of my existence around here. These things grow up all the time. Look, that's a box elder tree right there. You want to see another one? That's not one. Maybe that one back there wasn't one. Here, I'll show you some little box elder trees trying to come up. Right there. That. This right here is a box elder tree trying to come up. No, you don't. Okay, over and out. So this is making some wine. It's actually a port, not a wine. And these are plums from our tree. And what my mother-in-law actually did, was she filled this all the way up to here on both of these bottles with plums. Then she put vodka in over the top of everything to fill in between all of the cracks and get rid of all the air that's down in there. And she closed the lids and let that sit for 6 weeks. Then at the end of 6 weeks, she opened it up and she poured all the juice in there. Okay? And then she put the lid on that, and then she put sugar over the top of these things, about a half a cup, just to cover the top of everything. Put the lids back on for another 2 weeks. And now, so now we've taken one of those bottles that sat there for 2 weeks with the sugar on the top of it, and we put it into this big bowl here, just the juice. We strained off the plums and let the juice go through into the bowl. Put it in there, and we took the big jug of the other juice that had the strong wine in it, or vodka, whatever you want to call it, the port, and put it in here with the more sweetened stuff. And now we're going to do the same with this. We're going to put that in there as well, and it's all going to be mixed together. And then it goes back into the bottles, and then we can just drink it. It's ready to be drinked at that point, right? No, actually, then you can't drink it yet either. I just got some information from my sources that you have to wait 6 months then to drink it. So, Slivanka.
Slivianka.
Sli.
Via.
Slivianka.